many namaskar to one and all, and my sashtang pranam to Baba. So this is our RU evening. Uh, we we are hosting RU Symposium virtually as part of our seminar, and our symposium is organized by Pracaraka Samgha, part of 3 days spiritual and social philosophy based seminar. What our it is seminar is conducting online, started on 9th July for Bangalore region, in which Marga from majorly from South India are participating. So today's our Renaissance Universal topic is India at Crossroads. So we have 3 speakers, and I would like to introduce one by one. So our guest of honor is Shrii Harananda. He is a retired Principal Chief Security Commissioner, Indian Railways. Our main speaker, Chief Speaker is Acharya Vimalananda Avadhuta, who is trainer also. And he is a senior monk and Purodha of Ananda Marga. Currently is working as Secretary General PROUT Universal. And our guest speaker is Dr. P. Govardhan Dada. He is a professor and HOD of Mechanical Engineering Department of Bahubali College of Engineering from Hassan. So we would like to start with our topic from our chief speaker. First, Acharya Bimlananda Dada. So I think Dada has joined, and he is on screen. Everyone can see. He logged in as Secretary General PO. Okay, Dada. Floor is yours. Namaskar.
Thank you. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, Dada, we can hear
Yes,
you.
Dadaji, yes.
I'm really sorry. I'm a little bit behind schedule because of personal reason, health reason. But anyway, for this program, I am on time. Thank you. First of all, I welcome all of you. I welcome our guest of honor, Harananda. I welcome our co-speaker, guest speaker, Govardhan, Professor Govardhan. I welcome all of you, so many of you present. The topic has been very much on my mind for quite some time. It is first time that I'm presenting this topic for your consideration. I'm presenting this topic. I think this is a new topic for many. I've been watching our situation in country for quite some time. And lately, this topic has been always in front of my mind. What's happening to India? Where India is headed? And I'm really very grateful and thankful to all of you that you have organized a program where this topic can be discussed. And I would like to give my point of view around this topic. So with your permission, our guest of honor, our guest speaker, and the MC, and all of you, with your permission, I would like to share my views as follows. Any country in the world of humanity, on planet Earth, which has advanced, it has gone through some kind of a renaissance. In other words, renaissance is the way to advance. Of course, why not? Renaissance causes a kind of revolution in thoughts, intellectual revolution. Europe has advanced because of European Renaissance. Had there been no Renaissance, Europe was in dark ages, almost dark ages. It was stuck. Wherever there was no Renaissance, the country are still lagging behind. And the whole world is led by European people. It is European people, they came to America and they created the America that we know of today. So Renaissance is a very important factor. When we look back at our country, we had some periods of Renaissance, but that was past. When we see the works of Adi Guru Shankaracharya, it was a Renaissance. He created a stir in the mind of all the thinkers of that time in India. He traveled north to south, east to west, everywhere. And he caused a kind of a discussion in the mind of all the intellectuals of his time. He compelled them to think differently, successfully. Prior to him, again, there was another kind of Renaissance that was brought about by Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha did something, and that created a completely new way of thinking for many, many centuries. It remained like that. And Buddhism came out of that. Prior to him, Jain Muni Tirthankar was doing it, but this could not really create the whole impact on all over India. It was a small section. It did not succeed that much. For reasons, there were reasons. There was something shortcoming in his approach. He was austere. He was not allowing it to generalize to catch everyone's attention. But what Lord Buddha did, it really caught everyone into this. He created an antithesis against something that was happening between himself and the period of Mahabharata. So if we go back into our history starts with Mahabharata. That is an epoch, period of epoch. Something has happened. From there, a history starts. I'm not a student of history, of course, but the basics that we can see, the milestones our country has gone through, this population has gone through, is very clear. So Buddha created a stir and he created his own thoughts, Sattvari, Aryani, Satyani, and that became quite some time a topic to think about, to differ from what was happening. But because of that, India became godless. India was becoming godless because he did not talk about God. People went to ask him. His own disciples represented the people's queries about God. Please say something about God. People like our preachings, our message. But people are also asking us to talk about God something. Is there God? No answer. Is there no God? No answer. That does not indicate that he didn't know about God. He knew about God. But he would rather remain silent. Otherwise, his whole debate would simply degenerate into the same old narrative of God and God and God, and he would not have been successful in his mission to take people out of the dogma that was prevailing this time. So he brought a new narrative, and India was compelled to think about him, about his thoughts. India was very much impressed about what he was presenting. And we got a new path, eightfold path taught by Lord Buddha. And people came out of that old school of thinking about life, about creation. Humans are a different kind of creature, being. We are not the same kind of living being like many other billions and countless forms of living on earth. We are a little different than others. While others move by the needs of physical sustenance, humans move by the thoughts. Always there are some thoughts in the mind that drives humans into different activities. And humans go by the need of psychic satisfaction. Instead of physical satisfaction, humans move by the need of psychic satisfaction. So Buddha was there to convince people that there are four truths in life. Well, we will not go much into Buddhism, but yes, he caused a difference in thinking. So there was a renaissance. As a result of his preachings, what happened? India was becoming godless. There's no need of God in our life. There's no need to fear of anything in life. God is not there. So came hedonism in India. Eat, drink, and be happy. Javat jivet rinam sukham jivet rinam kritva gritam pivet bhasmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamnam kutat. Hedonism, kshanik bhaat, emerged like anything. Mushrooms everywhere, all over. All schools were influenced by the godless thinking. And in that situation, then we see Shankaracharya coming. Before teen, he started talking about God. He took sannyas and he roamed all over India, north to south, east to west. He said, there is God. Who says there is no God? So what was happening? Renaissance was happening. He changed north to south, east to west. He debated. He defeated all the schools. And he said, well, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. That was the message. Brahma is there, and that is the ultimate truth. We should seek that truth. That will give us the ultimate satisfaction, ultimate happiness of life. Jagan is mithya. This Jagat is mithya. Why are you running after this? It is nonsense. It is mithya, it is mithya, it is mithya, it is mithya. So you see, there was a stir. Yes. India has always been argumentative society. Always. Always argumentative. So many schools of thoughts. That is why perhaps we got the first universities. When the whole of humanity on planet Earth did not even know how to wear dress properly, when there was no civilization, India was blooming that time. Since then, there was always discussions and debates and discussions and debates and discussions and debates everywhere. Because of that, India was a place everybody would like to come, visit, learn. People used to come to India from all over the world. When the humanity was developing, evolving, they knew that there is a place called India. Go there, must go there. If we want to do something successfully in the world, we must go to India. That was also India, yes, that was the India. Everybody came to India. Chinese people came to India, Europeans came to India. Of course, there was no much population. There were people in Africa, but America was not there that time, what we know of it today. Europe was there, yes, and China was there. Other side of Himalayas. Europe and India are geographically contiguous, so they were coming. Everybody looked to come to India. Europeans, in search of coming to India, they discovered America. Had they not been thinking of going to India, America was not going to be discovered. It was remaining at the far corner in the middle of the ocean. So, anyway, so we have had a renaissance because of Lord Shankaracharya. And he changed the whole narrative of India. And he said, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. And we got what? We got modern Hinduism. Modern Hinduism name, the Hinduism name actually came after him. Before him, there was no name of Hinduism. The Muslims, the Arabs that came to India, they knew Alexander was coming to India before him, long before him. Yes, but they did not call us Hindus. No, no. The land beyond the Sindhu, Indus River. But the Arab people, when they started trading with India, they spoke Sindhu in their own way, in their own language. And in the Arabic language, sa becomes ha. S sound remains silent and becomes ha. So Sindhu became Hindu. And it was the Arabs who called us Hindus. So until the Arabs had started trading with India, less people knew about us. And so they were not calling us the Hindus by that name. But when Lord Shankaracharya, when he proved his excellence of logic, and he won the debate everywhere and everywhere and everywhere, all over India, and the Arab people who had come here, they knew us because of very dynamic, thoughtful society, and they started talking about us. The Hindus think like this, the Hindus think like this, the Hindus think like this. This is how we have journeyed through. And we became a Hindu society. Before that, before Shankaracharya, we were less known as a Hindu religion. Modern Hinduism comes from Lord Shankaracharya, Bhagwan Shankaracharya. He was the one to make India God-centered again. He created the debate that there is God. You cannot say that eat, drink, and make merry is the everything of life. He was the one. And India became again a God, a society with God. India, which had become godless society, again started going centered around Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. But what happened as a result? As a result, we got many more things. What happened is that India became self-centered and dogma-centered. People thought that God is everything. This world is really useless to think about. So the sociological growth got diverted. The social awareness, the social participation, people started withdrawing from that. And the societal growth did not happen, got hampered. Even today, in Hindu society of India, I'm talking of the Hindu society of India, the Hindu society of India. There's a traditional culture. The culture is what? Our home and hearth is neat and clean. And all the dirt is placed just outside of the door. Outside of the door is the world. And inside the door is my area. Here there's a place of God. And because here is the place of God, so this place must remain neat and clean, tidy, decorated, beautiful, very nice. Inside the house is it is heavenly presence. People all keep their home and hearth nice, and the best way possible. But outside the window, outside of the door, this is the world, mithya. I don't need to care about it. It is not my responsibility. A psychology emerged because it was lopsided idea. Some social sense was developing in a wrong way. People started negating, abnegation about the society. And that till today it continues. We care little and less about the society where we belong to. We care little and less for the need of a society in our life. We don't see the need of a society. We don't care about participating in society. Oh, it is not my matter. Anyway, we are fine. Let them do what? Who are them that we are talking about when we negate, when we turn our back to the society? Who are we talking about? We don't care even to think about it. That the dirt that we throw outside the window, outside the door, in the streets, the same dirt will come back to my home, and again my house will be full of dust within 24 hours, and again tomorrow I will have to clean. Even this much sense we don't think. We don't even think even this much of radius. That no. The dirt that I'm now cleaning and putting in the roadside is again going to come back to me. So the thinking has become so narrowed, while negating the social life, always and always, people have become just centered towards their own personal and very personal affairs, is my concern. Nothing else is my concern. So this is the journey. Again, we have had a period of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He created a renaissance. Yes, he did. He brought a spiritual renaissance. He was dancing in the streets in the name of Lord Krishna. He was dancing and telling everyone to sing the glory of Lord Krishna. Yes, that was also a kind of renaissance. Well, but then again, a renaissance is in the waiting, because the world has grown in this period around us differently. On this very earth, on this very planet, something more was happening. Europe was going also through renaissance. And when they went through Renaissance, they created an impact over larger humanity. And today the whole world is taken by that impact of that Renaissance. The people of Asia, the people of Africa, the people of all continents, today they live by the impact caused by the European Renaissance. That is a reality. The modern world that we have around us, it is all influenced by, it is all created by the Renaissance that started in Europe. And we got so many thoughts from that Renaissance. We got great social thinkers out of that Renaissance, European Renaissance. And so many types of philosophies came. We got clearly defined self-centered philosophy. We got clearly defined matter-centered philosophy. We got well-defined dogma-centered philosophies. Today's world is different than the world of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the world of Adi Guru Shankaracharya. Today the world is different. When India was the main place, seat of learning, India was the golden sparrow. No more. What happened? What happened? What happened that India, which was the golden sparrow, which was the dream of every human, advancing human community to go to and learn and get something from there. Unless you go to India, you are not achieving your dreams. You must go to India. What happened to that India? Where is that India? Where is that India? That India has to come out and speak out. Today, India is speaking. Today, India has become a battleground of ideologies. It has become a battleground. All crossroads are here in Indian society. Different ideologies are being brought to India by Indian people themselves, us, justifying this is our way. Some say, no, 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 this will not be our way, this should be our way. Then some say, no, no, this should be our way. Somebody is going for matter-centered philosophy. Somebody is saying, no, 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 we should live by the self-centered philosophy, self-centered ideology. Somebody says, no, 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 our dogma is better, our dogma is better, our dogma is better. We should go by the dogma-centered life again. But let us see. India will have to decide, because India is no more the only advanced people on planet Earth that India used to be once. During Mahabharata, India was the only place. From that time, India was the only place where civilized people lived that time. And everything was happening in India, and the rest of the world was watching and was trying to participate somehow, directly or indirectly. But today's India, time has passed, humanity has grown all over the world, they have advanced so much, they have caught up with India, they have surpassed India, India's achievements, they have left behind and they have moved forward ahead of, far, far ahead of India in every aspects of life. Today, India still are debating what to do. What is our best way to treat, to travel? Fast forward, we got the independence movement in India. People say that we are a new nation, we are a new society. I laugh at myself. Is India really a new, very young democracy? India is always presented as a young democracy in the world. And I stop and think, what is happening? India does not even know how to define itself. India does not even know how to define itself in the world of community around us. India has lived in a kind of a vacuum. India has seen so much debate about the ideology. What ideology will be suitable for us? And today, India has no ideology. That will be better to evaluate it like this. The same ideology, the ideologies which made India so weak that we got enslaved. The same ideology, it has not been properly evaluated. Why India was colonized? It was not. It has not been properly evaluated. If we go into that, we will see that because India was not socially active, India was just thinking about God, Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya. When we have been negating the word Jagat Mithya, naturally we became socially disunited, not interested in social affairs. Whether we are colonized, whether we are made to serve others, does not matter. Brahma Satyam, this is anyway pass away, makes little difference in life. When we were colonized, India was dogma centered. The same dogma centered which caused India to submit to the pressure of the colonizing powers. We are again going the same direction. Is it so? Can it be a proper thing for us? It was dogma-centered ideology in Indian society when India was colonized. It was dogma-centered society. The social strength was so weak. Socially, social fabric was so weak, uncertain. We were in the weakest moment that the colonizing powers were successful in colonizing us. That colonization did not happen from the British. The Muslims came. We were very many times attacked by the Mughals, Pathans, and whatnot. So India was becoming a battleground. Everybody was coming to explore India, to capture India, to convert India, to make India their own property. We have had that period going through this kind of journey. Today, India is at a situation that India does not know how to settle down. There are big think tanks. They have tried to educate India in the leftist ideologies. Murdabad, Murdabad, all students are paraded onto the streets. Students, university students, graduate, undergraduate students are paraded on the streets of cities. Murdabad, 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 Murdabad. Somebody says divide India, again more division should be made of India. Somebody says this. This is total confusion. India does not know what it wants. There is no collective psychology in India. Everybody is on their own. All the think tanks are trying in their own way to make their hay. And when some people think, no, India should become a nation, now they are trying. against all odds, to give some stability of an Indian identity, a national identity. Now it is present. We are watching that also. Big Herculean task. For 70 years, we have been educated in the self, in the dogmas, in the matter-centered ideological way of the leftism. For 70 years, our youth have been educated in that. And we have a band of politicians coming out of there, total failure in their personal life. Now they are sitting and making laws for our country in the parliaments. Who are these people? Failures in their academic life. Those who succeeded, they would rather leave the place. They left India. They went all over the world making miracles. In Europe, they are making miracles. In England, the Indians are making miracles. In America, Canada, the successful students who did not like to go parading Murdabad, Jindabad, Murdabad, Jindabad, they left India. This is not the place to be. Who is left in India? And those who are most unsuccessful in their life, in their academic career, they become the politicians. Yes, they have dominated the Indian polity in past 70 years. Yes, they made all the rules and all the laws. They created a culture not to follow the laws of the country. They created the culture of disobedience. The day a district magistrate is posted, the day a collector is posted, next day he starts listening slogans against himself. What wrong has he done? Has she done? She just posted, but Murdabad, Murdabad, do this, do that, burn the buses, burn the this against him. What's happening? A culture, a wrong political breed has appeared and governed our country. Wrong political breed. No positive thinking, only thinking of negating each other, negating each other, negating each other, negating each other. Wasting the whole national life and the resources of the country. Against all these odds, now we have a turn of side, and there is an approach to create a national theme, to create a national identity against all odds. All these things are happening. These are the things that is giving the indication that something has started moving, and India is in search of proper ideology. What way to go then? But we see also a trend to copy the dreams, to borrow the dreams from elsewhere, to create new India out of a borrowed dream, the dream that is not our own. That we call the self-centered ideology. The ideology of America, the ideology of the European countries. If we copy that dream in our country, that because that is not our own dream, naturally this is not going to inspire rank and file and the larger population to participate. So there is a national divide also at the same time working. We have issues coming up. We don't know how to handle them. We have conspiracies happening against India. We don't know how to handle them. There is Jawaharlal Nehru University. Students are rebelling. We don't know how to handle them. There are farmers camping on the road, highways, around the city, capital city of India. We don't know how to handle them. We are not able to give a message to them that we are here, the government is here to think about you. No. Issues are hanging and standing. We don't know how to handle them. Pandemic came. We did not know how to handle them, handle the issue. The whole world saw, the whole civilized, the whole advancing world saw, oh my God, tens of thousands of people are parading for thousands of kilometers, nobody to pick them up. I say, don't walk, here is the buses, and we bring you home to the border of your state. Nobody cares for anyone. Nobody cares for anyone. You are left on your own. People have seen that there is no presence of any government. Governments are there, but the connection between common life and the government is missing. They are the upper echelons, and they are the people are the downtrodden. Citizens have become the downtrodden. You are on your own. We are the ministers. So what, you have voted me to power, but you have voted me. I have the license from you to rule over you. We have our own style of democracy. This kind of democracy is nowhere in practice. Even though our constitution was made by the experts, the greatest thinkers of time, of the kind of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, of the kind of Bhimrao Ambedkar, the whole Constituent Assembly, they were the ones to create the constitution. But this constitution we are not able to follow. It is just a book there to be worshipped. It is nowhere in use. It does not connect to the people who live in the villages. 70% people live in the villages. This constitution has no meaning for them. Their life goes on as it used to happen since millennia. Nobody cares. Nobody. The connection is lost. People are on their own. In India, 70% people, I would say 80% people, are on their own even for their bread and butter. Even for their survival, they are on their own. There is no government in their life. There is a disconnect. There is a total disconnect between the governance and the life of the common people. There is only one connection, that after 5 years, there will be a festival in India. Every 5 years, there is a festival in different states. All of the states will have a festival, and whole of India will also have a festival. And that festival will be where we elect our king, our lords. We go to vote who will be our next lord. But after that election of MLAs and MPs, there's a total disconnect. There's a total disconnect between the voters and the representatives. There's no connection for 5 years. How can we justify to say that we are a nation where government and the people have no connection? The borrowed dream, those who could understand the dream, they are participating in the game. Those who could not, 70% people do not understand what the Constitution of India is all about. I'm telling you the ground reality.
Sorry,
70%.
sorry, just I jump in. So we have to consider time limit also. Yeah. So sorry, Dada. Please.
So 70% of people do not know what is the connection between the Constitution of India that governs them. They are in their own world. and the ruling class are their own world. And India, time passes, so India has to move ahead. Time is passing, so India, life is also going on, going on, going on. Now it is the responsibility of those who make the laws, who are licensed to govern from the high palaces in India, to fix an ideology for the country. Without an ideology, a country cannot move. A huge population of 1 crore and 35 lakhs people. Can we allow to live them without ideology? Can we say that you should be going the way you like, it's your life? We cannot say that. But where is that ideology? India is at the crossroads. And I think, instead of borrowing the ideology from the Western countries or the Eastern countries, the first world countries or the second world countries, India should look for homegrown ideologies. There are homegrown materials. Borrowed dreams cannot make a life successful. We should not. We should quit the habit of borrowing dreams from others. We have not gone that kind of bankrupt. We have ideas. We have talented people in India. There is a great pool of talent in India. India is full of every kind of resources. But India lacks the ideology. India only lacks the proper ideology. And instead of negating each other, rejecting each other, hating each other, instead of simply saying that no, not you, me should be in the place, no, we should be having a national debate. What ideology befits India's future, can ensure India's future? While the rest of the world has tried matter-centered ideologies and have failed, the matter-centered ideology of leftism has failed the world of humanity. The self-centered ideologies of America and the Western countries is already in despair. They don't know how to manage. America manages its affairs by borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. America, the whole glitter of America is caused by borrowings and borrowings. A country which borrows more than its own GDP, it is not a prosperous country. According to Indian philosophical and cultural standards, nobody should live on borrowings. But whole country of America lives on borrowings. I'm not saying, I'm reading everywhere, anybody can read. India has also started in the spree of borrowing. Borrow and borrow and borrow and borrow and pass your time. After 5 years, who knows? No problem. Borrow and borrow. Today, India's borrowings is highest ever. And India is today being bought by people outside Indian people. They're buying land and property in India and making their establishments in India. What is happening? Where are we? Do we have any ideology at all? How can we borrow like that and live our life? Total confusion. One time India wants to go the way of the Western countries, become a Western world. India can never be a Western world. India is the seat of rishis and maharshis and sadhakas and Buddha and Krishna and Mahavira and Lord Shiva and Kabir and Sant Guru Nanak. India is the land of spirituality. India has a very high stature. India has to find its own glorious ideological path, the God-centered ideology. India has been known in the world for the country of God. I was once giving a lecture in one university in the USA. In the middle, there were 500 students in the gallery and they were faculty members. In the middle of my talk, about 20 minutes, there was a voice, stop! So I stopped. I stopped speaking. Stop! And everybody was looking where the sound came from. There was an elderly lady sitting. She was a retired professor. She was raising her hand. Stop. So I stopped. I looked at her. I said, yes. Swami, before you speak anything, you answer one question. I said, yes. What is the question, please? Tell me why gods are born in India only. First, you answer this question. Oh my God. Indian brain, American brain is thinking. American brain also thinks that India is a land of gods. A retired professor of chemistry, she asks, tell me why gods are born in India only. I had to answer. I had to answer. 500 students and faculty are listening to me. And everybody was so curious what this sadhu is going to say. I said, well, mother, you ask the question to God, not to me, why he always chooses India to be born when he wants to be born. How can I answer that? The question is for God, why he favors only India and not anywhere in the world, no other population. People mused, they smiled. The atmosphere became little light. But I had to answer. That's not the answer. I had to answer. I said, look, whenever God wants to be born, he cannot be born out of the tree, right? He will need a mother. She said, yes. Whenever God wants to be born, he will not be born out of the trees. He will need a mother. So the case is very clear that God finds that kind of mothers only in India. Case is very clear. Whenever God wants to be born, he needs a mother, but that kind of mother every time he finds only in India. That is why gods are born in India. It became so easy for all of us. People smiled. People smiled. Yes, that kind of culture lives. Indian culture still lives, and Indian standard is very high in the eyes of the people of the world. India is a God's place. India is a God's country. But India does not have a God-centered ideology. That is the mismatch. That is what we need. India needs not a self-centered ideology of capitalism. India does not need the matter-centered ideology of nonsense of Marxism and communism. India does not need dogma-centered ideology again. We were already dogma-centered when we got colonized. It has defeated us as a nation. India does not need again a dogma-centered ideology. India needs to be God-centered and find the way. We have a lot of materials. We must redefine ourselves as a nation, God-centered nation. India is a country of Shiva and Krishna and so many saints, rishis, maharshis. India is known for its own spiritual stature. India should find its own homegrown thoughts and philosophies to cause its own way. India will have to create its own way if India wants to come out from the labyrinth of this kind of confusion that we have been going through. So India is at a crossroads. India is confused. And India should not stay. There is no reason why India should remain in that kind of confusion. India needs a reawakening of modern times. India needs intellectual revolution in modern times, a renaissance in the modern times. When you have a renaissance, then only you can finalize and you can find out which one of your own ideas will be giving a futuristic vision to live by and how we can move into the future successfully. This is where I will live, and I invite your comments and thoughts. You are most welcome. And thank you for your patient hearing. to what I had on my mind. India is at the crossroads, and India needs a debate, a national level thought searching, national level intellectual revolution to fix and finalize its path of journey here into the future. Welcome.
Thank you, Dadaji. Thank you, Dada. Very beautifully presented.